All right, everyone. Your host, Cy Smith, coming to you on a Tuesday, Yellow Tuesday. Every Tuesday is our education day. I'm gonna try to. I'm working my phone with the storm. I guess I'm having horrible internet, so I'm gonna try to work this from my phone. Got three things I want to talk to you about. I want to make sure that I can pull up and post a picture so you guys can see on my phone. Um, See if I can do this from my phone. Okay, it looks like I'm able to do that. There we go. All right, so I want to start by articulating this document that I created. And the title of this is Black People, the Hard Work is Done Already. And what I meant by that is something has been created. And what's been created was designed so that Black people don't find themselves uh, being beholden to one leader, one organization, one group. And the way we've structured this is so that we are organized based on time and based on what we care about. Let me say that again. We built something that's not driven by religion, not driven by people's charismatic leaders, things of that nature. Is driven around just making certain that whatever a person cares about, that we can incorporate that with a guaranteed audience of people ready to support that because they care about that as well. So what you're looking at here are the six things that's already been built. And it's the first one you see, number one, something for everyone, something for everyone based on A through Z last name. Everyone we believe has a last name beginning with the alphabets A through Z. So as you see here, January last names A through E, February last names F through K, March last names L through O, as you can see the rest of the year. So when we meet a person, we already know what months is 2 months because twice a year we engage people. So we already know the two times out the year of engagement with this person who might be ultra busy and don't want to be bothered. We're saying only 2 months out the year will we bother you. The other 10 months, do you? So we think A through Z means we can touch every single person in the world. The second one says something for every day based on the Sunday through Saturday habit. It's 7 days a week, university. So Sunday, family day, Monday, safety day, Saturday, youth day. This allows us, whoever we meet, last names A through Z, we can share with them what's happening every day with people. And in this regard, people that buy into this concept. So it allows that person trying to get healthy to know every Thursday they got support because other people are working on their health. Someone need help tutoring, they know Tuesday is education day. So that's what that means. Every day we know what each other are doing based on these seven habits. Number three, something for every month. And this is based on our weekly conventions. I'm gonna talk about that once I get this screen off and you can see me again. 51 weeks of conventions will allow us to turn America around from the Black people perspective, where every single week is always movement, travel, people engage in learning, and things of that nature. So as you can see, January, the mechanics convention, the farm convention, the pet convention. In August, the political convention, the military convention. In December, the painters convention, the carpenters convention. This is for children, adults, as well as retirees. So this loops everyone in right there. Number four, something for every passion based on 8 teams. You into business, you got a passion for running your own business, team one. You into accountability, holding people accountable, team two. You into food, whether it's chefs, caterers, or restaurants, team seven. So whatever you care about, it's a team for that. Number five, something for every stage in life. If you're an elder, that's retirees. We're not asking you to do that much physical stuff. We need more of your intellectual wisdom and knowledge and network. If you're an adult, you're in your prime. And then if you're a young person, you're trying to acquire the skills and network that the adults and the retirees have. This is for every profession: teachers, doctors, lawyers, judges, you name it, retirees, adults, and youth, every stage in life. The last one, the sixth one, is something that is portable and can go anywhere. This is important when you think about high crime neighborhoods where carjackings are taking place or kidnappings. Setting up three chairs on a street corner, and each one of them chairs are fulfilling a mission that's going to make the whole world better. So, chair number one on the left side is there mainly so when people want to know why are you three chairs sitting here on the corner, it's chair number one's job to publicly let them know what's going on and hopefully get their name, address, and phone number. Remember, with chair one, the minute we acquire their last name, we know what month. The minute chair one acquires what they care about, if they say, I love education, they know every Tuesday is education day. Chair one would know when the person tells us that they love talking about food, that person know team seven. So as you can see, chair one will be able to organize whoever walks up to find out why three chairs on the corner. Chair number two, the middle seat. This is the manager. This is the most knowledgeable person. They must know how to mitigate challenges that will come up. So that's why they're the supervisor or coordinator. Then chair number three is the do not disturb person. This person is on a conference call every other hour for 8 hours straight. And this allows that person to be connected with people around the world based on the daily topics. So that person is really out there to share the information on what's happening in Gary, Detroit, St. Louis, Milwaukee, whatever corner we're in America. Chair three will always be dialed in to know what's happening. Now, the only thing holding this back from full fruition is massive levels of $12 coming in. Our goal has always been to get 1 million black people in Chicago to do $12, and that will allow us to make this whole thing come to fruition. Okay, so now I'm done sharing here. Now let's get the camera back on me. Okay, so I just shared with you the what's already been created. It's done. This is built. It's up and running right now. I love to give people the analogy of a brand new car with no gas in it. It looks good, smell good, feel good getting in and out of it, but it's not going anywhere. And that's the case right here when you think about this concept and what I just shared with you. If we don't do $1 a month, $12 a year, it's not going to go as far as it could. So I got that out the way. That was important for you to get that. I want to talk about the $12 million, which is 1 million black people doing $12. Then I'm gonna close it out with the themes and why the themes matter so much. So let's go to the $12 million. I want you guys to know what we're missing out on every year that goes by that you don't tell family and friends about this $12 a year concept. In Chicago alone, just Chicago, we should have $12 million a year. $50,000 a month is the $12 million a year. $50,000 a month for all 20 of our zip codes is $12 million a year. So when we talk about what can get done, what can change in Black America if we have this goal met, so 50 grand times 12 months, that's the whole year, is $600,000. 600 grand times 20 zip codes is $12 million. $600,000 a year from all 20 zip codes is $12 million. How can $12 million change what's happening in Chicago? Here's how. The first thing, we have something called HATTM, HATTM. This is how we see spending money to stop the violence and make black neighborhoods strong and, and whole. Housing. Housing is the H. With $12 million, we're going to spend $700,000 every year on housing. Housing is everything from hotels to actually houses that we own. So with just half of that $700,000, 360,000, we're going to be able to buy a house in Gary, Atlanta, Birmingham, St. Louis, Milwaukee, Detroit, Memphis, Mississippi, Cleveland, Dallas, Kansas City, and Philadelphia with just 300,000 plus dollars. So that's going to leave us over 350,000 left for the hotels. Why does this matter? Imagine you being able to travel, and wherever you travel to, we have a place for you to stay. That's what this gives us. It gives us an anchor in each of these cities that have violence going on too. But here come this structure that has the insight to be able to turn that neighborhood around. 700 grand will be spent on that. The biggest of the $12 million is going to be spent on awards, $4.8 million. This here is a whopping. When you think about this, this is a lot of money that every single month will go through kindergartners through 12th graders for awards, incentives to motivate them. We're going to have $70,000 for each zip code when it comes to 12th graders, $60,000 for each zip code when it comes to 11th graders, $40,000 for 10th graders, another 40 for ninth graders, 30,000 for eighth graders, 20,000 for seventh graders, 12,000 for sixth graders, 10,000 for fifth graders, 8,000 for fourth graders, 6,000 for third graders, 4,000 for second graders and first graders, and 16,000 for the kindergartners. And this will empower every organization that have those grades of children to get money from us to do these awards and recognize these children for their academic success. That's $4.8 million. That's housing, 700 grand, 4.8 million for awards. The T is for travel. I believe travel is the missing link when we talk about changing habits and behaviors. So literally $2.4 million is going to be spent on travel. That's $200,000 every month for 12 months. That's going to allow us to get this travel going. So that's going to be literally $40,000 set aside every month for zip code leaders to travel. That's $2,000 for every zip code. It's 20 zip codes. Staff Staff matters because that's who do the administrative work. $3,000 every month for all 20 zip codes. That's $60,000 just for us to have the staff travel. High school travel, another $60,000 a month for high schoolers to travel because that's their development. Then you had $20,000 a month for the young people that's under high school, middle school to travel. Then emergency travel is at $20,000, which is $1,000 for all 20 zip codes. That's 200 grand a month times 12 months. That gets us to the $2.4 million price tag. This is with $12 donations. This is with $12 donations from a million black people. All that is happening. Manpower. Manpower is you can't do this without a staff. So the executive director would make $96,000. That's me. And I hope to only do this for a short period of time because I'm a businessman. So I want to get into business, but I must make sure that what God allowed me to put together is stable and strong. And when I hand this over to someone, they need to be making good enough salary that they won't do anything that they shouldn't do. And hopefully can direct all their energy and time to this because it needs it. $76,000 for regional leaders. That's $40 an hour for regional leaders. $57,000 for our zip code administrators. That's $30 an hour. The assistants to those zip code leaders, $20 an hour, which is 38,000 a year. And our HR person would get 3,800 a month. Altogether, $2.3 million for that leadership um, salaries there. Then the last one is $1.8 million for training. This is the one I'm arguably mostly excited about. I love the awards, that's important. But the training is this. We're going to have $25,000 just for our district leaders to train. And training is travel, meaning going to Atlanta for a session, going to Detroit for a session. The U.S. district leaders, meaning district leaders across the country, will have 25,000. So because of Chicago, U.S. district leaders are going to have training and travel, as well as the Chicago 27 district leaders. Then we're going to have $25,000 for outside training contracts. This is big because now, if you are a person that does workshop training on something, we can now pay you to train our leaders on that. So to have 25 grand every month for that is going to allow a lot of our people to benefit from this. The Gary conventions, $25,000 to offset the cost of doing those every month conventions, weekly conventions. Then you have the advanced training and orientation, and then you got the marketing and this is TV commercial ads, printing things in the black newspapers. That's $150,000 every month, and that's for training. You do 150 a month times 12 months. And that's how you come up with the $1.8 million. I just described a whole gang of stuff, you guys, that all comes back to $1 a month, $12 a year from our people. Very doable. Very, 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 very doable. And that's why every day I wake up motivated that today could be the day that we turn the corner and black people say, you know what? I'm go I'm going to go ahead and support this. They got something that covers A to Z. They got something that covers every day. They got something that covers every month. They got something that covers every stage in life. They got something that covers every passion. The only thing missing is me saying, let me just support what they saying. So the last piece is the themes. Themes. Themes are messages, and it's messages that tell kind of the purpose or what you want to convey. So when I talked about, and I've been showing these 51 conventions each year, we are now in a position to execute on this. We've been talking about it for 5 or 6 years, but now we're in position to actually do it. So we're starting them off with Zoom, and they'll eventually go to the Grant Theater in Gary, Indiana. Here's what should happen so that you will see how this is helping us as a people all over the world, especially here in the US. First, Chicago is the headquarters. 20 zip codes linked to 20 US cities. That's our national structure. So to manage 20 of anything takes you being organized. So I'm about to give you the 7 regions we're organized in. And I want to break this down so you know why these conventions are going to just change the game for us as a people. So Miami, Florida, Birmingham, Alabama, and New Orleans, Louisiana is one region of 7. It's one of 7. Gary, Indiana, Chicago, Illinois, and Atlanta, Georgia is the number one region. Okay, so that's number one. Miami, Birmingham, New Orleans, number two. Detroit, St. Louis, and Milwaukee, third region. Then you have Dallas and Memphis. That's the fourth region. Then you have Detroit, St. Louis, Milwaukee, fifth region. Might have said that already. LA and San Diego. That's a region. Then you have Kansas City, St. Paul, and Cleveland. That's a region. And the final region is the biggest one: Boston, Philadelphia, DC, Norfolk, and New York City. I gave you 7 regions, or I should have gave you 7 regions. When we talk about the photographers convention, which we just had, Wanda Carter in Chicago did a wonderful job facilitating that convention. Here's what should happen. All right. We should have workshops in the convention. So morning workshops, afternoon workshop, and evening workshops. We should have a concert displaying our talent. We should have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, of course, and we should have a Sunday closeout, Friday arrival. There are in every one of these conventions, from auto mechanics to teachers, nurses, science, engineers. There are companies that believe in Black Lives Matter. We want them to know about this other group that is connected with blacks block by block. So when they put money into us, it's going to reach black neighborhoods where violence is occurring, and it's going to make them safer. So when we get these corporate people that's checking the box on ending racism and structural racism and all that, now they're going to be able to put money into sponsorship of these conventions and directly help. There are T-shirts for every one of these conventions you can purchase. So if they are sponsored, now their name is on the T-shirts as well as the topic of the conference, the convention. So you might have one company that sponsors the breakfast, so they name and material gets marketed. Another one sponsors the lunch. Another corporation sponsors the dinner. One sponsors the concert. One sponsors the Friday arrival dinner. One sponsors the Saturday, Sunday departure. The point is, there are going to be at least 10 ways corporations can sponsor different variations of every single week convention. Eventually, when COVID is under control, Gary is going to be bustling with people coming in and out of that city. Chicago will have his welcoming committee because remember, Chicago is the headquarters. Gary is the administrative hub for America, but Chicago is the territorial headquarters, meaning everyone that comes to Gary for the convention, they are attached to a Chicago zip code. So that's why Chicago Welcoming Committee will, led by Crystal Dyer with Going Again Travel, will receive them, update them on the structure before they deploy across the border to Gary, Indiana. Gary will have a host committee. So either way it go, people get welcome and hosted. And this is going to create vibrancy. If you are a photographer in Atlanta, now you got a reason to come to Chicago, Gary. If you're a photographer in Norfolk, you got a reason to come to Chicago, Gary. So this is going to allow us to have our retirees, adults, and youth for every profession come together, start to travel, or at least get on the Zoom for now. But here's what I love the most: the themes. So we need 3 themes for every topic. So we just finished photographers. So what is the local photography theme? Now the theme is that statement that you guys want to make, but the theme is gonna direct our apparel department to print up that type of t-shirt for sale. So if the photographers group said capturing history is their theme for 2022, that's the t-shirts. The Chicago t-shirts photographers will say capturing history. The beauty is Miami will have their own theme. Miami might be documenting seniors history. Their t-shirts in Miami will say that. But the beauty that I love, it causes us to have to interact with each other. Miami got their photographer theme. Chicago got their photographer theme, but the regions will have the second theme. So Gary, Chicago, Atlanta all got their own local themes. Now they come together. They got a reason to talk to each other so they can decide on the regional theme. That's a different set of shirts that's going to be made up with Gary, Chicago, Atlanta photographers and the regional theme. More money to be made on the shirts. Then at the convention, Sunday, all 7 regions across America would vote on what the national theme is for next year. And that means all year long now we can print the shirts up. That's the national theme for photographers. And that's going to be promoted all the way into the next year convention. Look at that. That is forcing us to interact with each other. It's causing us to have reasons to interact. So that way, if you come to a convention, you from Birmingham, you know ultimately before that weekend is over, you're gonna interact with Chicago, with LA, with San Diego, because this is 20 cities under 7 regions coming up with a national theme, a local theme, and a regional theme. This is constant communication, it's getting in agreement, it's gonna allow shirts to be sold all over America, attracting new photographers to the team. And this is every single weekend. So I just wanted to emphasize to everyone, these 7 themes causes us to RTI, reasons to interact. So we don't come to a convention and stay in our silo. We get to interact with each other. So if you haven't donated $12, please do it. I got 2 people that donated that I don't know them. One, I have their email, so I'm about to email them now. The other person, please inbox me, text me, let me know you donated, because that's awesome. We appreciate that. To everyone else, phone number is 312-405-8844. That's 312-405-8844. And I just thank you guys a whole lot for allowing us to get to this place to where the work is done. Once we finance it, we're gonna see our whole world's turn around. I didn't talk about Africa, but we're doing a small part in Africa as well. Peace.